Hi, my name is Hannah Kreitz and I am one of the coordinators for Night to Shine, and we are making this training video for anybody who missed one of our Night to Shine trainings, just so that we can all be prepared for the night of and all be on the same page. So it makes things go a whole lot smoother when we all know what to expect and we know where to go and what time to be there. So we're going to cover all of that in this training. I'm going to be as brief and to the point as possible. So thank you for finding the time to watch it, and I also just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to volunteer at Night to Shine. We're going to have a blast. It will be so much fun, but the reason we do Night to Shine is not because we want to go have fun, but because we want to make a difference in somebody's life. And I hope that you will walk away knowing that you impacted somebody. You showed them that they were worthy, of being celebrated, they were worthy of love, that our God loves them, and they do matter. They're important, and they're special. And so that's the whole mission of why we do Night to Shine. And I just want to thank you for being a part of it. So without further ado, let's get into our information, and I'll again be as brief as possible so that this can be as short as possible. Logistics. So we need our registration team to arrive at 4 p.m. Coat check needs to arrive at 4:30 p.m. And then our buddies, Glam Room, and all other volunteers need to arrive at 5 p.m. So the red carpet can arrive at 6 p.m. or later if needed, but they're the only team that can arrive late. Also, what to wear. We want our buddies to dress nicely. We want to show our guests that this is an important night and an important event to you too. However, you don't have to dress fancy. They will almost all be in formal wear. So you can dress as nice as you want to, but you don't need to dress really fancy. We do ask that you don't wear jeans and a t-shirt, just because we want to show them that this is exciting for us as well. And then for all other volunteers, we'd like you to dress nicely, but you don't have to dress fancy. And we've had a lot of people ask about wearing their Night to Shine t-shirts that they bought. And we ask that you don't wear those to the event. It's fine if you're on the red carpet, but for all other places, we do it's a fancy event, so we just want to dress nicer than a t-shirt. And then what to bring. You'll want to bring your cell phone and your car keys. If you, ladies, if you need to bring a purse, just something small, easy to keep up with, because you will be, there's not a place to lock everything up. Civic Center, just for reference, right here in the middle is where Buchanan Street is, and then up here along the top is 3rd Avenue. So we'll be in the North Exhibit Hall, which is in yellow, the Heritage Room in orange, and the Regency Room in blue. So let me go back right here, this door number 3, this is where we want everybody to enter. So to zoom in a little bit, here's the Civic Center, here's door number 3, this is 3rd Street, and here's the parking lot where we want you guys to park. It's a really big parking lot. If possible, take some of the further spaces so we can use the closer spaces for our guests. If you have accessibility issues, of course, park as close as you can. And then you'll cross the street. We will have traffic control there, but you'll cross 3rd Street and go indoors number 3. And here's a zoom in of that map. So you'll enter indoors number 3, and you'll come right in here to the North Exhibit Hall. It will be on your right, into volunteer and guest registration. So this is where all volunteers need to start. You'll get your name tag, you'll get checked in, and then from there you'll go to wherever you are assigned. So if you're in the Glam Room, go to the Glam Room. If you're doing gift bags, you'll go to the gift bag table. If you're in the Respite Room, come over here to the Regency Room. If you're on the red carpet, go to this hallway. That's where the red carpet will be. And if you're a buddy, go into the Heritage Room. And we'll have a quick meeting with our buddies before getting you where you need to be so that you can be paired. Your assigned area, you'll be told what you're going to be doing for the night. You'll be getting some more information. I'm showing right here our leadership team so that you'll know who to go to if you have questions. You should have already received this information in emails, and you may have already received some correspondence with the leader for your group, but I just wanted to show this slide in case anybody's unclear on who's going to be the one that they need to ask questions to. before we go into the buddy specific part of our training. Number one is that volunteers should never go off alone with any guests. You must stay in the main event areas at all times and always maintain physical boundaries. In no way do you want to encourage your guests to view you as their boyfriend or girlfriend. And then also about cell phones. This is especially for buddies, but really in any area that you're volunteering, please don't play on your phone in front of guests. We just want them to be to know that we're engaged with them and that we are excited to be there and that they're not boring or not worth our time. Also, if you take any pictures of guests, please get their consent before posting them on any type of social media. And then, so the rest of our training will really be geared towards our buddies. But if you are helping out in maybe registration or glam room, and you think that you might want to be a buddy once you are done with that, please stay on and listen. So we have more guests signed up. We have nearly 500 guests signed up to come tonight to Shine. We don't have quite that many buddies, so when we start running out of buddies, we will be running into the glam room and the registration area and asking if anybody would like to be a buddy. So if you think that you'd like to be a buddy after you're done with your assignment, then please stay on, listen to the rest of this training. And then, of course, if you're a buddy, please stay on and listen to the rest of it. Of the training. This is, in my opinion, the most fun aspect of the event, the most fun volunteer place that you could be is to be a buddy. So we just want to give you some information so that you're prepared and you are ready the night of. So we will have our buddies broken down into 3 groups. Group 1 will be buddies who have experience working with people with special needs. So we asked on your volunteer registration if you do have experience, and that is so that we can make sure that we have buddies and guests paired accurately based on the guests' needs and the volunteer's experience. And then group number 2 is our buddies who do not have experience working with people with special needs. And that's the biggest group of our buddies. Most of our buddies do not need experience. And then group 3 will be buddies who are already paired before they go into the event. So the guest and the buddy have already been paired. They will not be paired that night because you've already been paired together. And most of the time you know this, you probably already know this, either you were requested by the guest, they want you to be their buddy, or sometimes the volunteers request certain guests. And then in other instances, our buddy coordinators pair you ahead of time for specific reasons. Let's say we have a guest that is deaf and we have a volunteer who knows sign language. We're going to pair those ahead of time just to make sure that the guest has somebody they can communicate with throughout the evening. So if you are prepared, you've already been paired going into the night, you will know that ahead of time. But for those of you who are being paired the night of, our guests will be paired according to their needs. And so I don't want any of our buddies who don't have experience with special needs to be worried about getting paired with somebody who has needs that are more extensive than what they are prepared for. That we ensure that that does not happen. We have our buddy coordinator. Her name is Natalie Fannin, and she works at ADVO. So she works with people with special needs every day, and she will determine whether or not a guest needs to be paired with a buddy from groups 1 or 2. And then for as long as we're able, we also pair by approximate age and same gender. And now everybody will get a buddy card for their guests. So once you're paired, you're going to get an information card. It will have the guest's name, their age, their emergency contact information, and then any relevant health concerns, sensory issues, or food allergies will be listed on there. On the buddy card, it will also have a fun fact about the guest, so that's good for conversation starters. If they do have any food allergies written, we will have a special meal for them that is allergen friendly. And the people in the food area, they will know. And if you just ask them, where is the special meals? They're from Brent's Cafe, and they'll make sure that you get one of those meals for your guests. Guests arrive, they're going to come in through the same doors number 3, and then they are going to also go into the same room where volunteers registered, and that's where they will go through guest registration. Now, if you are a buddy who has been paired with a guest ahead of time, you'll be waiting in this hallway right here, and when your guest comes in, you'll just join them. You'll go through the registration line with them. So if you have the guest's phone number, their contact information, let them know that you'll be waiting for them and have them call you whenever they're parking so that you're ready and you're waiting for them, looking for them once they walk in. But for all of our other guests, they're going to come in through these doors and they're going to go through guest registration. Once they go all the way through registration, they will come back here, and this is our buddy pairing area. And this is where we'll have our buddies waiting, both groups of them, experienced and non-experienced. And this is where Natalie will pair the guest with an appropriate buddy. So once she pairs you with a guest, hopefully their parent or caretaker will still be with them. We have asked parents and caretakers to stay with them through the registration process. So this is where you'll get the buddy card, but this is also where you can talk to their parent or caretaker for just a minute, see if there's anything that they want to tell you, anything that they want to prepare you for or tell you about their loved one. Find out if the parent is staying in the respite room. If they are, they're going to be invited to come into the ballroom about 9:45 for the crowning ceremony. If they are leaving the event, make sure they know they need to be back by 9:45 because our buddies do not provide transportation to our guests. Another thing is we do not provide any medicine to our guests, and the parents know this, but if they try to give you any medicine to give the guest, you tell them that you cannot give it to them. They will need to come out of the respite room and give it to them themselves. Also, find out if the guest will need assistance in the bathroom. We do have a bathroom team. This is trained professionals, so you will not be providing any assistance in the bathroom. But if they do need assistance, ask them if they would like our bathroom team to help them or if they want to come out of the respite room to assist them. So some of our guests, they're going to be there with a group. You might not get to talk to the caretaker one-on-one, but if possible, do make contact with them. Just spend a moment answering any questions that they may have. And also ask them if they would like you to text them pictures throughout the night. You could also offer to text them when you're getting in the limos so that they could come out and cheer on the red carpet for when their kid's going to be walking down the red carpet. A lot of parents like to watch that part. So at that point, you can let the parents or the caretakers go. You will come here, you'll get the gift bag for the guest, and then you'll take them into the glam room. Now, the glam room is optional. If they'd like to get their hair and makeup touched up, or they'd like to get their shoes shined for the guys, they can do that here. We'll also have a jewelry table if the girls didn't get enough jewelry or they want to add some, or if the guys need to pick out a tie, they can also do that in the glam room. Come down here, you'll exit out these doors, and I just want to go over the different activities that we have for them. All of these are optional, and they are all, they do not have to be done in a certain order. They can be done however they want to do. You can just ask your guest what they'd like to do, where they'd like to spend their time, and they can choose. So in the heritage room, this is where our dancing will be. This is also where the tables for eating will be. Now at 7 o'clock when the food starts, the food will be over here in the North Exhibit Hall. So you'll get your food here, you'll take it across the hallway, and then that's where you'll eat, is over here in the heritage room. Now, our seating is not, how it is for a wedding where you pick your seat and you leave your stuff and that's your seat for the night. We'll have seating for about 250 people. And once somebody finishes eating, we'll have a group of volunteers that are bussing tables, getting the trash off and getting it ready for new people to come sit down and eat. So there won't be, you won't just sit and eat and have your own place for the entire evening. We also have, we'll have 3 karaoke rooms over here, and we'll have a 360 photo booth back here in this corner. We will also have a photo booth, like for their professional prom photo, that's going to be out here, about right where it says family restroom, at the end of the red carpet. That's where that photo booth will be. And then here in the hallway is our red carpet, and right next to it is the line to get in the limos. So you'll wait in line, you'll get in the limos. We'll have 4. There's 2 party buses and 2 stretch Hummer limos. The buddies ride with the guests in the limos. And while you're waiting in line, this is a good time to show them the red carpet. This is what they'll be doing next, and it just helps prepare them for it. The red carpet is one of the absolute favorite activities, and it's where they really get to shine and be celebrated. It could also be a little bit overstimulating to some of them, and it does help for them to just be prepared for what is coming up. And we'll talk a little bit more about overstimulation at the end, but I did just want to point that out because when you're waiting here in line for the limos, you'll be looking right at the red carpet, and it's a great time to just prepare them. We also down here, we have a sensory room. It is where this arrow is pointing, so it's on the other side of the north exhibit hall, and we will have trained professionals in there as well if needed. And again, we'll go into more detail for that in a few minutes. To choose what things they would like to do and where they'd like to spend their time. They can dance all night, they can sing karaoke all night. It's fine for them to take more than one limo ride. Is if you've already taken a limo ride and there's a really long line, let's give other people a chance to do it. But usually our lines go pretty quickly since we do have 4 of them. So if they want to keep taking limo rides and walking down that red carpet, that's absolutely fine. They can do just whatever is fun to do for them. Dancing and karaoke are just the absolute favorites for the most part. They have so much fun. I want to point out that just because a guest is in a wheelchair or you think that they wouldn't be able to dance, they use a walker, still offer it to them. You can wheel them out there, you can push them around, let them dance. This is a night for them to feel included for all the things that they sometimes do not feel included for. The dancing starts right at 6 and it lasts the entire evening except for when we stop to do the crowning ceremony. So please do make sure that your guest takes breaks to drink water, and also that they take a break to eat. And then one more note about dancing. It will make your guest's night if you dance with them. So please get out there, dance with them, act like a fool, look like a fool. It will make the biggest difference to them, and we promise nobody will make fun of you. This year we'll have 3 karaoke rooms, so you can take them to the karaoke room. They may just want to watch. They may want to sing. You can sing backup for them. You can just cheer them on. Again, the event has a very casual and open flow, so just suggest things for them to do. Follow their lead, and just one of your roles as a buddy is just to make sure that they know about each of the activities that we have for them. And now at the end of the night, we have a crowning ceremony. We'll play a video from Tim Tebow. Our youth pastor, Roland Taylor, will give a short gospel message. And then each buddy gets to crown their own guest. So you'll want to make it a special moment for them. Tell them how important and loved and special they are. Their parents get to come in from the respite room. And then afterwards, we'll have just a little bit more dancing. So include the parents if they came in from the respite room. Take some pictures of them with their loved one and just try to make it a real special time with them. About is overstimulation. This is not something that happens very often at our events. In 2019, we actually didn't have any guests that needed to use the sensory room. In 2020, we did have about 5 or 10 guests that needed to use the sensory room. And we do have trained professionals that are in that room that are, they know what to do. None of this is left on you to figure out how to handle these situations. So I don't want anybody to be freaked out after hearing this, but it is good to be prepared and to know what to look for. Most likely, if you are a buddy who does not have experience with special needs, you're most likely not going to get paired with a guest that's going to have any sensory overload or overstimulation. So please don't let this scare you, but let this help you be prepared. So, overstimulation is experienced when someone's senses, either physically, visually, auditorily, get overwhelmed. And some signs of overstimulation are yelling, rocking back and forth, shutting down, or refusing to speak, increased hand movements like tapping the face or flapping their hands. Those are all signs of overstimulation. And the best thing to do if you see your guests starting to exhibit some of these signs is to offer a calming voice and to offer to escape the situation. So offer to take them out of the ballroom or off the red carpet, wherever it is, and take them to the sensory room. So like I said, the sensory room is all the way down here where this big black arrow is, and we'll have a couple of wheelchairs that'll just be waiting here in case your guest has mobility issues and you need to wheel them down there. We'll also somebody from the sensory room can come out and help you get them down there. We'll have walkie-talkies, so if we need to page them, we can do that. For some of them, just taking the walk down the hallway might be enough. For others, they might need to spend some time in the sensory room. That would be something also to talk to the parents about. The parents will likely bring it up if you're talking to them right here in the buddy pairing area, that they'll mention they might have some sensory overload. It also will be listed on the buddy card. But I just wanted to prepare you guys for that, just in case it does happen. We'll also have a medical team. They're comprised of paramedics, nurses, respiratory therapists, and we'll have a first aid table that's going to be in the ballroom near the dance floor. So when you get there, make a mental note of where the medical team is set up so you'll know where to go if you need help. The emergency contact information is also located on the buddy card for each guest. And we've actually never had a medical situation happen at Night to Shine, but we are prepared for it if it does happen. And then just one more note about that. If your guest is having an episode or some type of issue, just be mindful when you're having conversations with other people regarding your guest. Do it in a discreet and respectful manner. So if they're standing right next to you, they don't need to overhear you telling somebody else about how they're being difficult or they won't eat, how they're yelling. They're just like us. They have feelings, they have emotions, and also, last but not least, they do have hormones. So if they're not dancing with you and they're out on the dance floor, it's important to still be near to them and help assist them with appropriate boundaries with others. We are excited for Friday night. It is going to be so much fun. I hope you're looking forward to it. If you signed up, please do your very best to show up. We understand that emergencies happen, but we do have more guests signed up than we do volunteers or than we do buddies. So we do need every single one of you there if possible, and you will have so much fun. And like I said, you'll make a difference in somebody's life. If you do have any questions, you can respond to this email and ask Jennifer, or contact your team lead if you've had any correspondence with them. And we will see you Friday evening. Thank you.